Hi there, good afternoon. This is lovely Kudle Beach here in Karnataka state, South India. Out there is the little village of Gokarna. A hike up and over that hill, about a kilometer or a mile or so walk, or there are rickshaws that take you to the top of the hill there, and then you walk down. As you can see, you have restaurants. Many of the restaurants have rooms available that are quite affordable. My room is just 1,000 rupees, which is about $12 or so. I've been here for, I've lost track, 5 or 6 days. I was in the town of Gokarna for 4 days. This is my 5th time here. The first time was way back in 1999 on my first trip to India. Heard about the lovely beaches here, including Om Beach, which is where I will be hiking to next from here, up and over that hill right there. So today is March 2nd. It is still winter, and it is currently 101 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 38 degrees Celsius, so it is hot. I just took a swim, cooled off. I wore the hiking shorts in order to get them wet, and then got my shirt and my hat wet here to get ready for the hot, dry hike over the hill there. So the plan for today is to do the hike that way, going from beach to beach. So I will do this several times. So you have this really nice series of beaches going this way. There is the town beach right at Gokarna, which itself is pretty nice, but it's a very different scene. I have never swam there. I've just walked along it, getting up and over here. What Gokarna is really about is the atmosphere, the vibe, the scene, the facilities that you have here away from town. So it is very unique in that way, as opposed to Goa, for example, where there's usually a road right along the beach. It has more of a busy, active feel to it. Here in Gokarna, which is just south of Goa in Karnataka state here, you have a great selection of restaurants, all kinds of food, beer, all the stuff you need. You can just stay out here as long as you want. So with that introduction, then let's get going and see more. Get the backpack on the back, start hiking up the hill. We've got a little monkey up there, looks like a langur monkey. So just finishing up the hike from Kudle Beach over to Om Beach. It isn't that far, like 20 minutes or so. So you can see that you can actually just catch a rickshaw over here as well. So that is the Indian Om symbol, and the beach looks like it from above. You'll get a little bit of a taste of it, but can't really see it unless you're straight up above. But it's really quite remarkable how similar it is to that symbol. So part of the Om symbol, which represents the hum of the universe, basically like the spiritual vibration of the universe or God, part of that symbol looks kind of like a 3. And so here you can see the 3. These two little bays right there with the point in the middle. I believe that this is the way to Half Moon Beach. So while walking through this nice shaded flat area, I thought that I would tell the story of how I ended up at Gokarna and the beaches here back in 1999, my first trip to India for 5 months from October 1999 to March of 2000. So somewhere further in the north, then somebody had told me that there was going to be a rainbow gathering here in Gokarna for the Y2K experience, New Year's from 1999 into 2000. And so I just kind of like wrote that down as an option if I happened to be here at the right time, but I also kind of was shooting for it. And so I've been to 13 rainbow gatherings in my life. A rainbow gathering is basically a hippie alternative festival, experimental communal experience that occur all around the world. They are free. They occur in public lands, places where you don't need to get a permit, where there's no charge. They are free, and then the food, and that is basically the only expense. Food is covered by donations and people bringing food in. Look at this nice views from this trail along the cliff here. So my first rainbow gathering was in summer of 1993, a small regional gathering in Oregon. I was living in Eugene at the time and taking this yoga class, and the yoga instructor went to the rainbow gatherings, and he said that he was going to be taking a couple weeks off from the yoga classes because he was going to this rainbow gathering. And so I asked him about that, and it sounded cool, and so I drove out there. So let's not get too lost on stories here, but jumping forward to India, then in fall of 99, then I heard about this rainbow gathering, and so was shooting for it, and indeed ended up getting down here around the time it was supposed to be happening. But I just heard that it was in Gokarna, and I learned about the beaches, and so I thought that it was going to be at Beach. So I get to Gokarna, traveling solo, arrive in town, and then stay in town, and then I hike out to Beach to look for the rainbow gathering, and the scene is basically what you just saw there. Just people around. No evidence of a rainbow gathering, and I realized that that didn't make sense anyways, because rainbow gatherings don't happen at places where other random people are gathered, because it's supposed to be a kind of isolated communal event of just the people who are there for the gathering itself. So I walk back into the town of Gokarna, not sure what to do, and then somebody yells at me from one of the little dabas, little Indian snack shops there, right on the main street in town, and he says to me, "Hey, you're looking for the rainbow gathering?" I guess I looked the part. I had dreadlocks. And I'm like, yep. And so he gives me the whole lowdown on it. It is the exact opposite direction from town, up at Honeybell Beach. In order to get to Honeybell Beach, then you have to take a rickshaw north a ways. You get to a river. You then have to cross the river on a boat. You end up in this barely a village, and from there you hike. And in the process of hiking, then I got a little lost, so I ended up doing the hike with another guy that I met. Maybe it was the guy that told me the directions, I forget. But I started that day searching for the gathering with this other guy. I don't even remember where he was from. But anyways, we eventually found it, and sure enough, it was just getting started. There were a few dozen people there on this lovely beach. I stayed there for a good week or so and then continued on my adventures. So I will plug my book here, Following My Thumb, A Decade of Unabashed Wanderlust. There's a link down below. I tell that story in full, as well as many other stories from 10 years of traveling back in the 1990s, 1990 to 2000, my trip to Europe, my vagabond adventures all around the US, Alaska, living in the rainforest of Hawaii, and then my first trip to India. So if you want to read more about my early days of exploring the world, then check out that book. Okay, we are getting closer to Half Moon Beach. And here we are arriving at Half Moon Beach, and it is another nice one. So the really cool thing about Gokarna is that you have access to so much in the course of just a walk in kind of a self-contained area without having to deal with roads, rickshaws, traffic, listening to beeping horns and all that, including the town. Of course, you will see rickshaws there, but if you want a little town experience, need to do some shopping, whatever, then you have also access to the town of Gokarna, which is a pretty cool little town, quite sleepy most of the time, other than that big festival that I showed that was going on a week ago. But if you stay out on the beaches, then you have the relaxing beach experience, and then you have these other beaches you can hike to. You have a great selection of the restaurants, and then the activities that you can do, such as the boating. And so you can really occupy your time for days, weeks, between relaxation and also having some fun things to do. So last one, Paradise Beach up ahead here. So there was that sign back at Ohm Beach that said it was a 30-minute walk from Ohm Beach to Half Moon Beach, and then another 30-minute walk from Half Moon to Paradise Beach up here. That sign was incorrect. I didn't think that it took 30 minutes there, and so I looked on my phone, 9 minutes between each beach. From Ohm to Half Moon, 9 minutes, and another 9 minutes up to Paradise. So they're really quite close. I think it must be just around the corner up there. So right there is Half Moon Beach, and right there behind that rock, but in front of that ridge, is Paradise Beach. However, turns out Google is wrong. It is not an easy 9-minute walk from Half Moon to Paradise. It's actually quite treacherous. I didn't remember it being like this. I think I've only done this stretch of the hike maybe once before. And so it was kind of tricky getting up here, and then from here it gets even rougher going down behind that and across that, and then whatever's on the other side of that. And so I am abandoning mission to get over to Paradise Beach because I've been there before. It's a nice beach, but not, you know, especially amazing or different or anything. You can get just a little bit of a glimpse of it. It is still certainly worth the hike if you're in the mood for it, but I am not. I'm ready to head on back. Still got plenty of hiking here left to get back to my room at Kudle Beach. So this is basically the end of the video. Just going to wander back, and then as far as what's next, I really don't know. I am definitely considering leaving Gokarna sometime pretty soon, within the coming days. It could be tomorrow. It'll just be kind of a wake up in the morning and I'm ready to roll. But I also might stick around a couple more days, show a little more, do a little more of the relaxing and enjoying the beach experience. So one way or another, more coming from South India. See ya.